tasty treasure. This life's so spicy, stroll in style. Boomless flavors bring that smile. Everywhere it comes with flair. Pizza partners everywhere.
I have to say, recently I had a terrible CX experience with a brand. It took me 3 weeks to get my package. At the end of it, I sent, and I've never done this in my entire career, I found their founder, their CX manager, their CX director on LinkedIn, and I sent them an entire tech stack of things that they needed to look at, and Flip was in there, and I was like, if you had Flip, I could have fixed my issue on my own without ever having to contact you.
Yeah. I broke up with my favorite mushroom matcha company because their like subscriptions platform was so fucked. And I did the same thing. I was like, I sent them an email and I said, one, you guys need to use a different subscription platform. And I sent them a list of the ones that we partner with. And then I told them like, and if you guys had had phones, I would have been able to update this, that, and the other thing. And like, I would still be a loyal customer.
That was my issue. It was totally me. It was not the company at all. When I did my Apple Pay, it put my old address. It's so funny. I'm calling the kettle black. Like, it happened. As soon as I saw it happen, before I got the confirmation email, I looked all over. There was no phone number. There was no live chat. I DM'd them on Instagram and they said, we can't help you. You have to email us. I had never been so livid in my life. It took me over 3 weeks to finally get the correct package after it got shipped back and all of that. And I had to tell them, you need this tech stack. It is going to cost you little to nothing to improve your customer experience. I put in the implementation time for Flip as well. I was like, guys, I set this up in like 2 weeks before Black Friday. You need it. Yeah. They never answered me and they have no longer gotten my business. But it's so easy to just plug and play all of these tools.
Yeah, but circling back to the caller context thing.
That's VOC, basically.
Yeah, and you can have like an AI that's able to just like have a conversation with people for a while, but when you can integrate with the underlying systems, understand who is this customer, where are they in their journey with the brand, what's their purchase history, how long have they been a customer, do they have open tickets, right? Have they like emailed this morning and now they're calling, right? Like all of that should be understood at the moment when you answer the phone, and then to be able to right out of the gate personalize that experience. Whenever I start talking, motorcycles go by. Be able to personalize the experience, understand like what are they probably reaching out about, right? So if they're calling and they have an open ticket about, updating a shipping address and it's from an order that was placed yesterday, then we'll say, hey, like we see that you have this order that you placed yesterday. Is this what you're calling about? And they'll say yes. And then we have all the information to go and have that conversation and make it wicked fast for them to get done what they want to get done. So I think that in all of the craziness around like, wow, we have technology that can just talk to us at like a really high, like conversational intellect level. What's lost in it is this is not a conversation happening like in a vortex. This isn't a stranger on the street. This is a customer of your business that is like, on a journey with you. And one of the ways in which these tools can be like so much better even than an agent could ever be is you can integrate with all the tools, you can ingest all of the data, and you can use it in real time to personalize the experience, to drive outcomes for the customer as well as for the brand. Like one of the things that we're so excited about is how can it's great to solve problems fast. It's great to provide automation to support the agents and to support the brand. But how can we take the fact that there are all these conversations that are happening every day with customers and use it to drive business outcomes beyond just the lens of what has like historically been CX? How can we like really measurably drive retention? How can we drive growth? How can we take the board deck for a brand? Like when they do their quarterly board meeting with their investors, like, or they're presenting to the street, whatever they're doing, what are the top metrics that they're reporting on? And how can we take the fact that like we're having one-to-one live rich conversations with your customers every day to impact those metrics.
Yeah.
And so much of it goes back to understand who this customer is and then be able to guide their experience based on that.
Well, especially since on the call to context, you can see if they're a first-time customer, a repeat customer, that entire journey.
And then you can change the way that you handle something, right? So like,
Yeah.
first time customer reaches out and, or let's say, right, this is a very, again, connecting dots a little bit. Fraud is like front of mind for everyone.
Oh, don't. My headache
it's a
is already
downer.
starting.
It's a downer. If you have a customer that's reaching out, they've shopped with you 4 times, and 3 of the times they have either returned or gotten a reshipment because like it never arrived or whatever it is. At some point, where do you sort of kick in and say, hey, there's some pattern
Who's finding the
recognition
patterns that's not the agents?
there's a pattern going on here, and the agent, like, hopefully, right, if you use Gladly, their history is popping up and you can see that and you can try and make a split-second decision while you're on the phone with the customer and, like, as an agent, try and deliver that bad news, try and manage the fact that you're getting judged on CSAT, like, all of these things that are so hard for a human to do when they have a huge backlog and they're going through so much. Flip has all of that data instantly. It can be empathetic, but it's not going to be overly sensitive. And you as the CX leader can say, hey, every single time that this customer has shopped with us objectively, they have either been a return or a retroactive discount or like a reshipment has needed to happen. And we can just flag this. And we can tell the customer that like, hey, we're sorry that whatever happened and we're going to look into it without going and pouring more money into what might be a fraudulent situation or giving the customer what they don't want to hear if, you know, they happen to be an honest actor.
Yeah.
So it's just all of these ways that you can use, like the average customer uses Flip integrated with 3 other tools. If you look at the customers that use it with 3 solutions versus 4 integrations versus 5 versus 6 integrations, it is very heavily correlated between how many integrations you have and the level of impact that you're getting out of the platform, because Flip just has access to more and more data and is able to take more and more action.
I mean, what's really cool too is with all of the integrations that you have kind of set up, setting up the different intent journeys. If it's a fraud customer coming in and it's capturing that, you can make sure that's not going to get routed to a human where they're going to yell at that agent, versus if it's simply a Wismo order, it can easily be escalated to a human to get corrected if it needs to be. And I think that was big for us as we're planning out our journey of growth with phone. I will never shy away from this. I think phone support is the biggest headache in any customer-facing role, whether it's a small brand or a large brand. But being able to actually track and protect your agents from what is being escalated to them is also key.
Yeah, I agree. People have this misconception that you're all in or you're all out. And it's like this huge, scary journey from we don't use AI to we use AI, and like when we implement AI, like we can't control what it's going to do and it's going to go crazy. And I think that the way in which we have structured the product, where you're able to, on a intent or, you know, like call topic by call topic reason, say, these are the things that we want to be escalating. These are the things that we want to be automating. This is exactly how we want to automate them. And all of the bells and whistles that are associated with that, right? Like take something that from a consumer perspective is as simple as canceling an order, right? So
that was our cream of the crop that we set up for.
yeah, but canceling an order can be, sometimes the scenario is very simple. Sometimes to cancel an order, it's like, shit, like it's already out for fulfillment. It's past the window where we can cancel the order. Or maybe it was a final sale item and like this item's not eligible to be canceled. Or maybe it's like, hey, we need to cancel the order in Shopify, but we also need to cancel the order in this other system that like our warehouse team is accessing so that they know to stop the fulfillment.
Yep.
So there's all of these things that go into it, and it's a little bit of the, like the more brands we work with, the more we're able to pattern match and learn what are the workflows, what are the business processes, what are the systems that are at play, and then be able to go to, right, like shout out to you for being an early customer where we have, you know, 5x the configurability today as we did when you first started, and it's based on all of the learnings that we have. And like each new customer that we bring on, we're learning more and more about hey, if we could instead design not just the conversation, but the workflow around how this is going to be handled, if we're processing a cancellation, or if we're canceling a subscription, or if we're trying to convert somebody that is calling with product questions into purchasing. The more that we can understand, this is how we would want to strategically design the experience and how it would vary based on the segment of customer, the loyalty of the customer. Then we can build those things out as easy configurations in the portal. The next customer that comes in, they just come in and they're able to use it. I say to customers all the time now, Flip has everything that you're imagining you would be able to do with an AI automation tool, and then about 20% more that you have not even thought about.
Yeah.
But our team and our customers have thought about those things, and we've built those things, and they already exist, and your imagination will be expanded by stepping into the
One huge thing we learned on the Caraway front, when we implemented Flip, it was only on post-purchase. And it's still right now only on post-purchase, but we have people that on their second, third, fourth order are going back to those post-purchase emails to get the number and call in. So we're understanding more of those customer journey touch points as well. They're not for some reason going to the website or Google to find our contact information. They're going back to that original email. And we wouldn't have known that unless we saw the caller context of this is a post-purchase customer, this customer has ordered X amount of times before calling in.
And they're choosing to call before they're choosing, right? They prefer voice.
Yeah.
The first contact around this situation is happening in the phone channel. It's not that they emailed and didn't hear back from you for 3 days and then they're calling.
They're looking for that number.
Yeah.
And you can't find the number right now on Google. If you Google in Caraway Home phone number, that number is only on the post-purchase emails. So we can directly link that to the customer touch points.
Which is, you are an example of a customer that started their phone journey with Flip and has been able to be very thoughtful about how you expand it and where in the customer journey are you offering it.
Yeah.
And for so many people, they know that their customers want phone, but again, it feels like this, I'm gonna jump off a cliff and there's no soft landing, and I don't know what I'm signing up for. My executive team doesn't know what they're signing up for from a financial standpoint, from an everything standpoint. And the way that you did it, you were one of the early customers that did it this way, has become a pattern of people using Flip as a way to crawl, walk, run their way into being a brand that supports the phone channel, which is really hard as a small growing team.
And offset some of these seasonal influxes. Like I was telling Christina, we have a 90 to 95% automation rate year round, which includes our 5 times peak in the holiday season during
I think you did
Q4.
10X last year.
Yeah, it's insane.
I remember we had
we had
the holiday party last year. The Axe throwing, great event. We throw good events. We try and have fun. It's not just the pizza.
We try.
Sometimes we're active. We're not just consuming. Sometimes. But I remember I'd been just looking at a assortment of data across our customers, and you guys had done in whatever it was from Black Friday to mid-December is 10X, which is great for the business from the standpoint of contacts is heavily correlated with sales.
And what helped us with that was our CSM. They were like, hey, this intent and this intent might not peak, but it is an opportunity for you. And we were like, you know what? F it. Let's set it up. Increase with that 10%. Those tickets didn't go to the team and they were able to be completely self-serviced. Flipping awesome.
Well, I feel bad that you guys have not gotten to eat a lot of this beautiful food and it's cold now.
Excuse us for yapping.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
My bad.
You asked us to get
Yeah.
started, and that's what happens when you get started.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You didn't think we could nerd out this hard,
No,
did you?
I did. Which is why I have sat here.
Christina was wondering how long she was going to have to sit here. And really what she cares about is she hasn't been able to take another slice of pizza because then she'd be interrupting the shot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, no, honestly, it's the cheesy bread with the jalapenos and the hot honey for me. Although this was very good, and did you see that I picked it up?
I love this shit.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. And we do need to rate this thing.
What?
I think we already did it. One.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rated aces?
No, I know, but on a flip, I mean, we gotta stay consistent, right? We gotta give it a flip or a flop. And a number. For me, it's a flip, and it's a solid 11.5. break the scale.
I'm a one up you. It's a
Nice.
flip and it's a 20 because Brian's here.
Her favorite flipper.
My favorite flipper.
No, I'm feeling a little bad.
Do you want to eat some pizza?
Yeah, get in here.
Come eat.
Well, we can take a break. Okay, so you've been in the AI space now for the past few years with Flip. I'm assuming in the past careers that you've had, you weren't in marketing for AI. So what changes have you had to adapt to and techniques to learn to help further your career now versus in other industries?
Sure. Okay, I love that question because so when I joined Flip, it was an instant like I got this. So I'm an avid shopper, right? And I remember the second day I was there, we got this email from somebody rejecting us because they said that their luxury shoppers were not going to respond to an AI product like this. And I immediately was like, that's fucking wrong. I am your shopper. I am your shopper. I buy luxury shoes. That's what they sold. And for me, like,
I can confirm you have a lot of shoes.
I do. I'm wearing Stuart Weitzman's right now. Shout out to Stuart Weitzman. We'd love to work with you. But when I saw that, I was like, no, this is fucking wrong. Like, as a luxury shopper, that means that I have an expendable income and I choose to spend it with you. But to have that expendable income, I don't have a ton of time. Like, I don't want to wait on hold to talk to a human for the luxury brand experience, for the white glove experience. What I want is for you to respect my goddamn time and get me a resolution as quickly as possible. So when I saw that email, I was like, this ain't it. Like, AI is the answer here because everybody wants self-serve support. Everybody wants rapid resolution. Apparently, I'm not the only one who gets a motorcycle when I speak. But it was just like with Flip, it was an instant. I get this. I understand this. I can speak to this from the caller perspective, from the end user's perspective.
And in your shopping luxury journey experience, have you seen AI be implemented a lot more in the recent years versus in the past?
Quite honestly, the only place I'm really experiencing it in the luxury space is with like their chatbots. But their chatbots fucking suck. And like I love our chatbot partners, but I don't need a chatbot to say, oh hey, you were looking at this pump, you know, you might like this, that, or the other thing. I know what I like. I don't need that pop-up. It's annoying.
Oh, so you don't like the proactive
No,
product recommendations?
I don't. But I'm the kind of shopper where like I am
Tell me what to buy.
Yeah, I am laser focused. I know exactly what I want.
Oh, you're not an impulse buyer.
No, I am an impulse buyer, but it's only exactly what I want.
So
She gets to determine her own impulses. They can't
Yes.
determine her.
no bots.
No, I am not the girl that goes to the grocery store and goes through the little checkout aisle where they've got all the little things and grabs stuff.
Oh, I am.
I
Let
am
me get
the,
some Sour Patch Kids.
no. I am not that kind of shopper. I am laser focused. I don't need the product recommendations. I don't need the, oh hey, were you able to find this in your size? Because like I know what I'm doing, and I feel like a lot of chatbots on websites, they don't assume that the buyer is as sophisticated as they are. And I mean that's the same thing with phones and an IVR. Like the IVR sort of assumes that like people are only capable of pressing a button to go to the place that they heard they want to
The
go.
IVR is only capable of understanding.
I know that. But as a consumer, it feels like, oh, you guys don't trust me to be able to like solve this problem by myself. So you want me to press buttons so I can go down this path that may or may not get me the resolution.
So it sounds like the brands you're shopping for needs call and context that Flip provides to see
Exactly.
what your clicking and shopping journey actually
Exactly.
is.
Yeah.
That was your first week on the job. You wrote the blog post.
Second day.
Second day. Automation is the new luxury.
Yeah.
And I remember wrote in a Google Doc, and I think somebody sent it to me. They were like, "Hey, she wrote this. Like, can you publish it?" And I think I was like, "That's the best blog post anybody at Red Route has ever written. Go for it."
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Wow. Look at this OG marketer over here.
Partly, you know, before that we had like 2 blog posts. So
Yeah.
the competition was low.
And they had a lot of pictures in them instead of words.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cookies?
Yeah. Yes.
Do it.
Yeah.